Hey, 4th and 5th grade, Mrs. Wood here giving you another installation of your first chapter Friday, coming to you from summer school again because I am trying to get ahead of the game in case Baby Wood takes me out for a while. So, this is another Mark Twain nominee that I'm going to be reading you today. It's one of the 12 Mark Twain nominated books. Remember, if you read all 12 of them, you get to come with me to Neighborhood Reads at the end of the year, and I will buy you a brand spanking new book of your choice just for you to keep. And then if you read 4 or more, you get to join us for our end of year celebration. So that will include voting, it will include pizza and lots of fun stuff. But this is one of the 12 that you would have to read, okay? This is one I think a lot of you are going to argue over and really want because it's about World War II, and a lot of you get really into World War II. This is an author who's really popular. His name is Gordon Korman. So let me go ahead and read the back for you so you can hear a little bit, okay? This is called War Stories by Gordon Korman. There are two things Trevor loves more than anything else: playing war-based video games, and his great-grandfather, Jacob, who is a true blue war hero. At the height of the war, Jacob helped liberate a small French village and was given a hero's welcome upon his return to America. Now it's decades later, and Jacob wants to retrace the steps he took during the war, from training to invasion to the village he is said to have saved. Trevor thinks this is the coolest idea ever, but as they get to the village, Trevor discovers there's more to the story than what he's heard his whole life, causing him to wonder about his great-grandfather's heroism, the truth about the battle he fought, and the importance of genuine valor. Okay, I'm going to start reading chapter 1. I'm not going to quite get finished with chapter 1 because it's kind of long, but I'm going to start it for you. Chapter 1. In Marlborough, Connecticut, on February 18th. So it kind of switches the setting for you. So this setting is in the United States present day. Here we go. The exploding artillery shells blossomed all around him, turning the dark of night into fiery orange day. The rattle of the machine gun fire sliced through the endless booming, carving a spray of concrete chips from the stoop dangerously close to his combat boots. The soldier crouched down in the doorway of what had once been a small bakery. Now it was just a burnt-out shell, along with the rest of the French town. After days of air and artillery bombardment, mortar strikes, and sniper fire, he was separated from his unit, if there was any way to be separated from any more. His entire company had been cut to pieces by a panzer division as they waited in vain for their own tanks to arrive. It had been, how long? 10 minutes? 15? Since he had last seen an American uniform? Not an upright one, anyway. The dead from both sides lay thick in the streets. The soldier had survived many battles in this war, but it was time to face the fact that this one might very well be his last. The flash came a split second before the explosion. The bakery disintegrated around him, collapsing into dust. At the last instant, he hurled himself out into the street just as the heavy wooden door frame came down. He was alive, but now he was exposed. He could feel the dozens of German rifle barrels drawing a bead on him. And then hope. Rattling up the ruined streets came the first of the American Shermans, led to the battle, but maybe not too late for him. Late to the battle, but maybe not too late for him. The soldier leaped onto the tank, scrambling up over the tread to a precarious perch on the lumbering vehicle side. Then there he hung, holding on with his left arm as he fired blindly at the German positions with his right. One by one, adversaries went down, infantrymen, a machine gun nest, and the missile came in with a whistling sound, a shoulder-launched anti-tank shell. He propelled himself free just as the Sherman blew apart in a huge fireball. The explosion launched him forward toward the German line. He hit the ground, somersaulted once, and then bounced up, shooting. "Trevor!" came a voice from behind him. Bam, bam, bam! The rifle kept firing, taking out enemies left, right, center. A German bullet tore into his shoulder. It didn't slow him down. Louder this time. Trevor! I'm busy! Trevor Firestorm's thumb worked like a piston on the game controller in his hands. On the screen, the soldier took shot after shot. 3 more bullets ripped into him, knocking him down to one knee. He fought on, bellowing in anger, triumph, and pain. Trevor bellowed right along with him, wrestling with the controller as if it could help destroy the enemy. Pop! For a moment, the soldier was frozen there, his face contorted with agony and heroic effort. Then the screen went dark. What? Trevor wheeled around to find his father leaning over the game console, the plug in his hand. What'd you do that for? I was in the middle of an amazing battle. I think 2.5 hours of battling is enough for one day, Daniel Firestorm told his son. No, Trevor exclaimed in true pain. Didn't you see how many Germans I was killing? It had to be a personal best. I can't believe you just pulled the plug before my progress could even be saved. How am I supposed to level up now? Daniel looked disapprovingly at his 12-year-old son. I hope you understand that in the real world, killing isn't any kind of progress. My guy's fighting in World War II, Trevor argued. He's supposed to kill Nazis. That's his job. Ask Gigi, he was there. You're right, Trev, his father replied. Your great-grandfather fought in World War II, and I'm sure he would tell you that there was nothing glamorous about what he did over there. Are you kidding? Trevor crowed. He was a hero. He was awarded the Bronze Star and a medal from the French, too. He's always talking about how cool it was. He makes it sound cool sometimes, Dad amended. And it was an important part of history, but there is nothing cool about killing each other. That's not what Gigi says, Trevor insisted stubbornly. Just ask him. His father sighed. You can ask him yourself. He's coming over for dinner tonight. He will be here any minute. Trevor jumped up. What? Why didn't you say so? He ran to the bathroom and began washing his hands. Dad rolled his eyes. I've been trying to pry you off that game console for more than 2 hours, but just the mention of Grandpa's name electrifies you into action. Trevor toweled off his wet hands. It was true, of course. There was no explaining it. Gigi was Dad's grandfather, but more like his father because his grandparents had raised him from the time his father died. So Dad never really saw Gigi as the big wartime hero. Plus, Dad was a history teacher, so he knew about the war. But the only things he ever talked about was how awful it was and how we all had to pray that it would never happen again. Trevor wasn't crazy. He didn't want war, but World War II was maybe the biggest, most important thing that had ever happened. No made-up story, book or movie could ever even come close to it. The forces of evil came dangerously close to taking over the entire world, and the good guys from the part of the globe banded together to beat them back. Everybody talked about saving the planet, but those people actually did it. And to know someone who was a part of it, who was really there, helping to make it happen, that was huge. I'm going to stop there. You have a few more pages where Trevor's grandpa starts coming over, and they start discussing the war. It does actually go back and forth, like I was saying, in time and in the place where they are. So it goes from the United States in present day to France during World War II and continues to tell the story. It's really great, and I really think you're going to like it. Again, this is one of the 12 Mark Twain nominees for this year, and whether you like historical fiction, you like this time period, you will definitely get something out of it. It's a really well done story. This author is really great. So this is still going to be in the Mark Twain bin. It's not in the First Chapter Friday bin, but this will be in the Mark Twain bin if you want to come down and get it. I'm excited for you guys to read it and let me know what you think. Have a great Friday, everybody. Bye.